How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and this time around I want to cover a topic that I think is very interesting, especially for new players, and that is I want to rank the 6 dungeons in Destiny 2 as of Season 19 from easiest to hardest. A lot of experienced players will have different opinions in terms of the order and stuff like that, and that's okay. I just want to make this because I have solo flawless all 6 dungeons, and I want to give my honest take for new players that might be joining now or might be joining in Lightfall and want to start getting into the endgame content, so they want to start by solo or solo flawless a dungeon, doesn't matter which one of the 6. So I want to cover in my personal experience and opinion which I think is the easiest and which I think is the hardest. So starting off at number 6, what I believe for new players the easiest dungeon to solo or solo flawless, definitely without a doubt has to be the Shattered Throne. The only annoying part about this dungeon is that there is no rally flag. You can get to either of the 2 bosses, you can basically die and you will not get a rally flag. You will either have to wait until you get your super back by being AFK, or you will have to kill until you get it alongside the heavy ammo. Outside of that, I don't necessarily think it's a hard dungeon. You can take your time, you can snipe enemies, or you can scout rifle them from really far away. There's no timer. It's a pretty chill dungeon. It's a little boring in my opinion, but there again, it was added a long time ago when things were a lot different in Destiny, so it kind of makes sense. But regardless, that's number 6 as to what I believe is the easiest dungeon in the game. Now for number 5 and number 4, I kind of have a tie, and that is both between Prophecy and Grasp of Avarice. Now I would say that Grasp of Avarice is a little easier than Prophecy. The only part that I believe will give new players trouble in Grasp of Avarice is the Sparrow part, where you have to basically fly from one side of the map to another one and you have a timer. I think if you're not that good with a Sparrow, or if you don't have always on time, which you can always just buy in the tower, if you have that, then it'll make it a lot easier because you will go faster than any other exotic Sparrow and you will also get shot less. But if you don't have that, I would imagine Prophecy is a little bit easier. The only part that I think Prophecy is annoying for a lot of players is being able to go up the elevator part and not fold under pressure, because you're basically getting shot from a lot of different sides and you have to kill specific enemies standing in light or in the shadows. Regardless, I have both of these as a tie because I think that they are both fairly similar. They're both the same in length. They both have the same amount of boss encounters. If you would even want to consider the middle section in Grasp of Avarice a boss encounter, I personally see it as an intermission, but regardless, I would rate Grasp of Avarice and Prophecy in number 5 and 4 in whatever order you choose. Up next at number 3, we have my personal favorite, which is Pit of Heresy. Now this dungeon, I've done it so many times, so you can really trust me when I say this dungeon is a cakewalk. It is not hard, it is not difficult, it's not long. There's only one boss encounter and one middle section that's a little annoying. You can definitely do flawless, guaranteed 100% the same route each time. I have a video, I will link it in the description and also in the card so you can see it. This is a very easy dungeon. The only annoying part that a lot of people have when it comes to solo flawless is as soon as they finish the middle section between the pit and the harrow, the chamber of sorrow, when they have to jump down the meat grinder, they just YOLO it all the way down, and that's what gets them killed, thus ending their solo flawless run, not knowing that you can actually jump from ledge to ledge and you will not die. You can actually take your time, you don't have to go all the way down. That's why I have it at number 3, because personally I don't think it's a hard dungeon, but you have to be able to do damage to the boss very quickly because he does have a wipe mechanic, and if you are inside of that ring, you're dead. You're not going to survive. But still, I have it at number 3 because not only do I think from personal experience it's not hard, but it's also not necessarily the easiest for solo players since there is a lot of boomers and a lot of ogres. Gentlemen and the one lady watching this video, at number 2 we have Spire of the Watcher, which means that Duality is number 1. Now before I get into Duality, let's talk about Spire. So Spire of the Watcher, the encounters themselves, connecting cables, handy manny simulator, whatever you want to call it, it's not hard. It's very simple for anyone to understand. The parkour is very simple. The 2 boss mechanics are very simple as well. Everything is pretty straightforward. There's no hiccups that you're going to run into. There's no secret encounters. It's a very straightforward dungeon. But you have to do so much damage. And there are so many ways of doing damage to that damn wyvern, whether it's grenade launchers, rockets, linears, you name it. There's so many things that you can do, and only a couple of them are really effective. That's why when you go on YouTube and you type in Persis or Akalos 2-phase solo, that's really impressive, because while you can one-phase a lot of bosses like Shattered Throne, maybe even Prophecy if you have high DPS, and Pit of Heresy, it is not the same for Spire of the Watcher, both Akalos and Persis. And the reason why is because they have so much health. So a 2-phase is really impressive to that standard. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1 we have Duality. Now the reason why is because you can do everything perfectly, solo or with a team. Whether you're going solo or solo flawless, it does not matter. you can do everything correctly, leave Kaido with 2 HP or 2 million HP, and when you shoot that bell, there is a chance that you and your friends will die, or just you, or maybe one of them. There goes the Flawless. I don't know why many seasons later Bungie has not fixed it. Clearly they like the architects more than they like us as players. Regardless, if you combine that with the fact that there are so many Colossus, so many dogs, so many ads in that room, it is a nightmare to actually get through if you don't have enough DPS to actually kill Kaido quickly, as you're getting shot by snipers. And not only that, but every encounter has a time limit, except maybe, no, yeah, all of them have a time limit, so you have to act fast. And the bell is on one side, the gatekeepers or the bell keepers are on the other side. You have to basically speed run your way through it, and that's not even counting if you do it on master. The only reason I'm not counting it on master is because not every single dungeon has a master difficulty setting. Regardless, maybe I'll do that in a different video, but for now I rank duality as number 1 because of that. If those patches were fixed, then sure, maybe it would be tied with Spire, I don't know. And the reason why is because a lot of new players will actually attempt it, die to a bug, orbit, get discouraged, and then they're not going to want to try again because they're going to leave with that bad experience in their mouth. So in my opinion, Shattered Throne is the easiest dungeon to solo or solo Flawless, and the hardest one for new players I would say is duality. Everything else in between is optional, as I said. And you might be thinking, okay, that's cool, but what do I get if I solo or solo Flawless? You get titles, you get emblems, you get what's it called, sparrows, you get shaders. There's a lot of cool things that you get apart from the Triumph itself and the tracker, so it is worth it. And this is something that's more so if you want to get a specific seal that requires you to do these things solo, or if you just want to do it for the completion and you have it on the tracker, or if you're just bored and you want to raise your Triumph score. There's a lot of reasons, but regardless, that is my opinion. Again, like I said, I have solo Flawless all 6 dungeons, so I can tell you from experience which I think was a breeze and which one I think was actually troublesome. Regardless, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. It helps out a ton. We are closing in on 300, and I will catch you guys later with the next one. Comment down below if you have anything you would want to watch. Peace out, guys.